पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ रुपए का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस केवल 450 रुपए महीने से शुरू। वाव!
Meanwhile, in just a few months, assembly elections will be held in Karnataka and it is expected to be a deeply polarized campaign. We've already seen this in the course of the last year, where issues like the hijab, halal meat, a boycott of Muslim businesses all took center stage in the political discourse. Now, in fresh controversial comments, the BJP's Karnataka chief and member of parliament has told party workers to focus on fighting love jihad instead of minor issues like roads and sewage problems. Nalin Katil made the comments at a party meeting on Monday in Karnataka. The Congress has slammed the remarks, accusing the BJP of trying to polarize voters. Well, joining us now for more on that big political story, we have with us Aishwarya Mahadev from the Congress, Pramila Nisargi from the BJP and Tanveer Ahmed from the Janata Dal Secular, the JDS. Thank you very much to all of you for being with us. Pramila Nisargi, I mean, what kind of comments are these for a responsible member of parliament to make, to say that love jihad trumps bread and butter issues like roads and sewage, etc.? Has he inadvertently revealed what the campaign strategy will be?
That's not the thing. First of all, one must know it is within the party meeting. What the party meeting, what the members have to be told, it is at the discretion of the president. He has all, it is not it's not the same thing to say only that thing must be done. See, apart from roads and improvements and the vikas that is being done in the state, these issues also must be taken into consideration. That's what he has said. Why these people, when I tell my people in my house, I tell my children how they have to behave. How does it matter for the outsiders? What does this JDS and the Congress think of it? What they speak within their party, do we comment about it? We are not concerned. If it's in a public meeting, in a public road, if you say something, that's different. In a party meeting, if the party president says what are the things to be said, that's not the only thing. The context must be looked into.
Isn't it actually more worrying if it's said in what you're saying is a closed door party meeting, that this is what the party's election strategy would be, that things like roads and civic issues are minor issues, and polarizing issues like so-called love jihad are what matter more? Isn't it actually more worrying that it's said like this? Aishwarya Mahadev wants to comment on that.
Nidhi, for a seemingly educated person, I'm absolutely appalled that these are the words being spoken by Ms. Pramila Nisargi, who's a very senior lawyer herself. The sense of responsibility on a public representative, whether it's in a party meeting or whether in the confines of a private space, is still something that is far greater. And for him to speak like this, first of all, we're not very surprised, because we saw what Sadhvi Pragya recently came to Karnataka and said. But the second thing is to try and even justify that is extremely shameful. And yes, ma'am, even for some hot mic moments of the Congress, you have a week of TRPs that you want to try and extract from it. The fact of the matter today, Nidhi, and the reality in my state is there is absolutely no development. There's massive corruption. So the BJP is going to obviously take on the election plank that they're the most equipped to handle, which is communalism, which is us versus them. And what Nalin Kumar Katil is saying is not different from anybody else in the BJP. This has been the game plan from last year, whether it is what music plays in what religious place, what piece of clothing you wear, what you eat, or who trades where. This has become the issues for the BJP, because they have given you no development. Whether it is statistics of the debt in my state or the development of corruption and allegations so far and so forth, you see that the state is in an abysmal situation.
But let me ask Tanveer Ahmed this, which is that it's not a coincidence, Tanveer Ahmed, that we're seeing a number of polarizing issues making headlines in Karnataka in the run-up to elections. The question is this a strategy that you think could actually work? I mean, it's no secret that polarization exists in Karnataka as it does in many other states, and therefore, is the BJP doing it because they think that it will work?
Firstly, we need to really understand why did Mr. Nalin Kumar Katil say this statement. Congress is definitely falling in the trap of Nalin Kumar Katil's statement. But however, we need to really look this statement very maturely. they are not doing politics, because we all know that politics is done for next generation. Politics is done for next general election. And Nalin Kumar Katil is playing a right card by bringing this issue, because as Aishwarya was saying, that there is no development work here in Karnataka done. Karnataka has slipped in pharmacy business from 2 to number 5, in road and infrastructure from number 5th state to number 21st state. So when you have no development to stay, no progress to show, no aspirations of youth to take care, no job, no employment, absolutely, when you have lost agrarian crisis, water problem, language issues, Maharashtra issues, the only thing which comes to their refuge is by talking about these issues, which has already worked in favor of BJP. We all know that the hijab thing, before hijab thing, BJP did a survey and they were getting only 52 seats. Now, according to their survey itself, through my internal sources, I know that they have risen by 15 to 20%. Now, again, if at all the opposition falls to the trap, which is said by people like Nalin Kumar Katil and people like
So why are you saying that the Congress has fallen for the trap? In what way?
We need to really understand, Nidhi, actually, even from the issue of demonetization, we all knew that demonetization could have not remonetized. Chidambaram went to the court, and by just speaking about the legalities of that aspect, it really shows that it was a legitimate move which was made. Congress always falls into the trap of BJP. When you really react to this kind of things, people think that the other section of society is absolutely anti-Hindu, which is absolutely not true. Everybody within the party, within JDS, Congress, there are certain very important issues. Congress always really fell into the trap.
Let me ask, Aishwarya Mahadev wants to respond to that.
I'll just take 5 seconds. Take 5 seconds.
Okay.
Pramila Nesargi, 5 seconds. Pramila Nesargi is a very smart lawyer. I worked for her when she stood for an MLA. She knows that it is a right trap which is set, and this is the trap which is going to work in their favor. They are really speaking this language. The only way JDS and Congress can come out of it is ignore people like Nalin Kumar Katil. If at all we really give them any importance, definitely they would be important.
Well, he's a member of parliament and therefore can't be ignored. Is also the BJP chief in the state. But Aishwarya Mahadev.
Tanvir is quite the psephologist this evening, but Nidhi, I beg to differ with him on this. We're not engaging with him by saying, yes, the issues are love jihad and communal issues. The Congress party is saying this is the problem with the BJP. They have absolutely no development. They have no track record. Corruption is at a skyrocketing rate in my state and the people are suffering. So this is the BJP trying to refocus. The Congress has been very categoric in its attack against the government for their ineptitude, and that is what we're focusing on, whether it's an internal or external statement. And the Congress is not falling into that trap whatsoever, because we're keeping it to saying you have not delivered for the people of this state. You have a double engine sarkar, you've done nothing. Tanvir spoke about how we plummeted. I'll tell you things we've gotten better at, right? We have basically the highest shortage of teachers in the country today for a state like Karnataka. We have a massive 40% rise in crimes against Dalit SCs and STs. And you see
so you're saying this is all a distraction. You're saying this is all a distraction to take away from that. Okay, so 1 second, before I come back to Pramila Nesargi on that, let me ask Pooja Prasanna of the News Minute, who's weighing in as our commentator. Pooja Prasanna, how is this playing out on the ground? In terms of how this election is looking at the moment, both the main players have a lot of infighting and internal politics that they're dealing with, including the BJP, with the BJP also the incumbent, corruption allegations, etc. But does the communal card pay dividends in Karnataka?
Well, if you look at the last couple of elections, Nidhi, it clearly shows that BJP has not been able to win a single election on its own. Because if you look at the last election, they came to power after 17 MLAs jumped ship from Congress and JDS. Even before that, they were in power in a coalition government. So the track record shows that so far Hindutva has not won them any assembly election majorly. That's point number one. And the second thing we have to keep in mind where Nalin Kumar Katil made this statement. He spoke about this in Mangalore. So essentially, he's only pandering to that region. the coastal Karnataka region has reacted very strongly to communal issues. So that is another thing we have to keep in mind. I wonder if leaders from other parts of the state or even the chief minister would be brazen enough to say that yes, we will fight elections only based on communal issues, because that would be a big risk that they will be taking. And my last point here is, irrespective of what they say, the fact is last 1.5 years of CM Bommai's tenure in the state has shown that it is easier for them to keep the opposition engaged with these kind of issues, starting off with hijab. We saw controversies over the halal meat. They want boycott of Muslim businessmen, Muslim vendors. A plethora of these issues that we have seen, we've also covered here at the News Minute. It's easier to have them engaged in these issues than talk about the allegations by, let's say, the Contractor Association.
So are you saying the JDS, are you saying Tanveer Ahmed of the JDS has a point today when he says the opposition falls into the BJP's trap on these issues?
I think this is a distraction, and the best way to counter it is to keep focus on issues like corruption, which, like 2 days ago, for example, from Tumkur, we saw another contractor who took his own life. Of course, there was no death note like in the case of Santosh Patil, but, his friends and family are alleging that he had huge debts because bills were not cleared from several government departments. So these are issues that the opposition needs to keep its focus on, and even reacting to issues by statements by somebody like Katir, who has a track record, let's remember, of making such statements, will only make it easier for BJP to sidestep the main issue.
Pramila ji, do you want to respond to that criticism that this is all about distracting from some real pressing challenges that the BJP faces ahead of the Karnataka polls?
I am so sorry. I am so sorry about these opposition parties, be it Congress or JDS. If they are going to be distracted by these small things, do they deserve to rule the state? If these small things are going to attack them, what is this they are talking? They are unable to rule the state. If they are going to take by these small statements, what Nalin Kadal says, what hijab, do they want to say that hijab must continue? Do they want to say halal must continue? If the hijab were to continue, why the people are fighting in Iran? Why the people are fighting in Afghanistan? Do they want our state also to become the fighting place like Iran and Afghanistan? Do not the women of this country want to have independence? Do they have their own right to be free and have
independence? Also means that they have a right to choose whether or not they want to wear it, but that's another debate.
What about the corruption? What about the corruption?
Well, they're asking you about that.
We know how Mr. Kempana, who is taking, where is the corruption? That's why they are facing the suit before the criminal court and the civil court for damages, for defamation. What do they say about it? Let them face there. If they feel that there is corruption, why did they not give a complaint before the Lokaayukta? If they know the law, they would have done it. They would have filed a PCR against any other person. Just because some people comment, and Muniratnam has already filed a suit, what right they have to comment about the
Aishwarya Mahadev
where is the
wants
corruption?
to jump in.
On the other hand, there is development throughout the state. There is development. They do not.
So then why not talk about all the roads and sewages that you've built instead of Love Jihad? No? That's great.
Yes, madam. They are writ large. People know about it. We do not worry about it. What people do not know is about the hijab and halal. You know how much money these people are making? Even for a small thing, they put the board label as halal by making money. How much money they are getting?
I don't want this platform to become another platform of misinformation. Let's not go down that road. Let's just ask the question here about why these issues are trumping. As you say, there's been great development in Karnataka. Fantastic. I just want to ask why your BJP president doesn't want to focus on that. Aishwarya Mahadev, Pramila ji is saying, why don't you all go to the Lokaayukta if you have complaints about corruption? Aishwarya Mahadev.
One second, Niti. I'm actually trying to find another adjective for appalling, but I'm just going to say this is outrageous and an insult to the common sense of the people of Karnataka and everybody watching your show. For a learned lawyer here to say, oh, development is for all to see, when everybody saw what happened to Bangalore during the floods and the sort of pothole that's we're having, it's an insult to the common man of the state and everybody you're talking to, ma'am, when you completely sideline issues of development. You talk about Achhe Din and Vikas, Where have we heard that statement in the past 4 years? You come here and you basically have only polarizing statements and nobody needs a jihad.
Answer the question asked by the anchor. Don't divert the attention. Answer the question asked by the anchor. Answer that first. Why did you not go to Lokaitha? Answer that first.
Do your god-awful job and tell us what you've done in 5 years. Instead of it, the politics basically kept on this state. You want to talk...
What have you done? What is it that you have done in 50 years? What have you done in 50 years? What's the development that you have done?
Okay, 1 second, ma'am. Pramila ji, let her answer, and let me get last comments from Tanveer and Pooja as well. Yes, Aishwarya, quickly finish your point. I just have a couple of minutes. Yeah.
You know, it's extremely insulting when they do not talk about any development, when they try to come to power on horse trading, but talk about Achhe Din, Vikas and double engine Sarkar. And now they want to basically have diatribes about what people wear. Ma'am, calm down.
Okay, 1 second. I think we're all talking over each other. Pramila ji, one second. Let me get Tanveer Ahmed. What is your strategy? What is your advice then to the rest of the opposition?
You ask the question. It's your duty to answer.
Yes.
They must answer first.
One second. Tanveer Ahmed, if you want to keep the focus on corruption, on alleged corruption, development, etc., why don't you answer what Pramila ji is asking? Why aren't you all going to the Lokayukt, she's saying?
Actually, going to Lokayukt, going to police, going to judiciary is definitely not an answer, because People's Court is definitely going to answer. But the way Congress always falls in the trap, if at all they continue to fall in the same trap, trust me, BJP is going to have an upper edge. Today's survey, BJP is absolutely nowhere there in Karnataka, because they have absolutely failed in every aspect. Nalin Kumar Katil, Pramila Nesargi, and the Honorable Chief Minister, who comes from the family of freedom fighters, he has also started using the language. Until and unless Congress ignores the statement of people like Pramila Nesargi and Nalin Kumar Katil, we will again fall in the same trap, and we are going to help BJP. The only way is just go to the people of Karnataka who are very smart, intelligent, intellectual. Ma'am, Pramila ji, 1 second, Amma, 1 second. I normally disagree with Rahul Gandhi on every aspect. I disagree on Rahul Gandhi on every aspect, but one aspect I will show you. There is no communalism in this country at all. On the ground, everybody is absolutely loving, caring and gentle. The only way, if at all we give importance to Nalin Kumar Katil and people like him, we are really giving them very important. They are absolutely ignorable. We have to ignore and move forward. Karnataka would give them a BPT.
All right, I have 30 seconds. Pooja, you wanted to make a comment. Yes, go ahead.
Speak about it.
Maybe I have just 2 quick points to make. One, what we're seeing is competitive communalism by BJP leaders, because between themselves they think that making one after the other of these comments will win them favor with the party high command. So which is why we've seen all of them vying for that attention. The second thing is it's also a statement made to boost the morale of the party workers, the cadre on the ground, because this was made in a booth level, party workers meeting. And they think that this is one way of ensuring, give them a common enemy, which is minorities in the state, and give them something to work towards so that they do not fight between themselves. That seems to be the strategy of BJP. The only way I think we can kind of handle this is, one, of course, it has to be condemned. But beyond that, talking about it and, fixating on it and not talking about other issues will kind of end up giving BJP the advantage.
All right, let's see how it plays out. The elections are only a few months away. Thanks very much to all of you for joining us tonight. I have to leave it at that. Thank you.